Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing.
In this bulletin, new housing policies in the pipeline. Council concerned over putrid meat and putting land resources to good use.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
At least 16 health workers at the Singatoka Hospital suffered side effects after receiving the COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine earlier this week. Permanent Secretary for Health, Dr. James Fong, says this is a small number compared to the 232 people from Singatoka who received the injection. Lina Rees reports there is no cause for alarm, according to the authorities, and the ministry is confident in continuing with the vaccination.
The Ministry of Health says side effects reported are similar to what people around the world have experienced after inoculation.
The Fijian physiology is just the same as that of the many millions of other people that have received the dose. I do not see any effects on the Fijian population or the people that we've vaccinated so far that is different from that we have read about as occurring throughout the rest of the world.
The 16 have reported sweating, chills, fatigue and aches where the jab was administered and none needed medical intervention. Dr. Fong says the side effects may last up to 72 hours or in some cases up to a week.
The reason you're getting those side effects is because your body is building new proteins, new cells, new soldiers to fight COVID-19.
Dr. Mara Vukivukiseru, the first local to be vaccinated, reported good health and no side effects days after receiving the vaccine.
We are very happy that finally we've gotten a vaccine for COVID. I mean, knowing that COVID-19 is something new that just came beginning of last year.
The Health Ministry will tomorrow collate data on how many people have been vaccinated since the program began on Wednesday, and this will also include information on any reports of side effects. Lina Rees, FBC News.
An independent committee will now be in charge of all selection and allocation of lots for the Housing Authority. Chief Executive Robert Sen says this was a key recommendation of the Special Investigation Report by the Office of the Auditor General. Kritika Kumar reports the investigation was conducted following allegations of corruption.
The authority has revisited the selection process to strengthen good governance.
All the allocation that will be reviewed through our team in marketing team, then it will be passed to these other managers or the independent person in that committee to review it, making sure that all the process or the selection criteria has been adhered to.
The authority has so far implemented 15 major recommendations and 5 have been partially executed. Sen says they are improving the internal processes to be transparent and provide Fijians with equal opportunities.
Like one of them was the policy on the criteria of allocation. So what are the policies? We have, together with our management team and the board, we have reviewed the criteria. So we are looking at some of the options.
The Housing Ministry, meanwhile, is strengthening the sector by developing policies and legislation.
We hope to take that policy for public consultation in the month of April-May. So it's on the verge of finishing.
The Housing Authority will now also be working with the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services and the Lands Department to verify the details and revenue of the applicants. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Consumer Council has made submissions to the Ministry of Health and the municipal councils to address some of the recurring issues with supermarkets. Council Chief Executive Sima Shandil says they will be working with the relevant stakeholders to iron out issues regarding putrid meat in supermarkets and other issues. Shandil says the recurring issues are becoming a concern for the council as it also affects the health of consumers. She adds consumers have the right to quality items they pay for and access to hygienic supermarkets.
Through the Council's market surveillances and other complaints received, it has been discovered that there are still certain supermarkets who continuously breach the relevant Consumer Protection Act.
The Itaukei Land Trust Fund Board has signed an agreement with the Home Finance to help Itaukei landowners set up businesses. Speaking during the Radio Fiji One's Nanonda Prime Minister program, Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama said landowners are not on the right track in developing land for income-generating activities. Senyani Mbuela reports.
Bainimarama says landowners can help get the economy back on track, considering the immense resources at their disposal.
This is to help Itaukei landowners to establish businesses and expand them and also be part of the business sector. I, as the Itaukei minister, feels that it's about time that all stakeholders, especially the TLTB, to help Itaukei landowners.
The Prime Minister says the Ministry of Itaukei Affairs Vaccination program will also help Itaukei hold leading roles in society.
The program will enable the ministry to gather relevant information regarding all Itaukei, help in the revitalizing of culture and tradition, and most importantly, help future Itaukei leaders.
It's about time we groom Itaukei future leaders because some current leaders are not well versed with our culture and traditions.
This will greatly help us Itaukei. I think this is a good initiative by the ministry as this will help future leaders.
Successors of the various chiefly titles from the provinces of Teilevu and Rewa were the first batch of students to have completed and graduated from the 14-week traditional leadership program that is part of the Sauvaki Vanua. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Almost a year since COVID-19 hit, sales for the Moda cinemas are slowly picking up. After diversifying its business to suit the current economic challenges, the biggest cinema chain will employ more locals and continue screening movies. Ridi, the Moda spokesperson for the Moda cinemas, says they've ensured to bring in major releases, but 50% occupancy rate does not help. She says online streaming platforms have severe impacts on business. The Moda hopes occupancy restrictions will be relaxed as they have more releases coming.
People did miss going to the cinemas. So as the movies came in, we saw an increase. Very recently, we released an animated movie, the Tom and Jerry, Raya. You know, we have seen a great response towards it. Though, of course, the occupancy of 50% has been challenging.
Up ahead, Ba women demolish Teilevu and Naitasiri. And Krishna wins Golden Ball. Stay with us.
Oira na ngone no de nunu enda basing ni mataka.
Mersusunga da kena loma dina kila mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitaro bina no rabaksa ngai ka wala loma taki na ngone. Dalo bina oya o meliki.
Bulre oya o Samuel Samuli.
Nama kiki rau enda be mataka.
Moniti kina makarombuka.
Ni wai tiri kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji One nandomo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka dan ramai na singabo.
The Ba football team demolished Teilevu Naitasiri 7-1 in their Digicel Women's Super League match. The Mba side dominated the match from the first whistle at Churchill Park in Lautoka yesterday. 2 goals to Coletta Liku Dhuladhula, Demanasau and Luisa Tamani Toakula saw Mba lead 4-1 at halftime. The Levu Naitasiri's lone goal came from Andilitiam Bakanideva. In the second half, Demanasau got 2 back-to-back goals. Head coach Charlene Lockington says despite the win, there is still a lot of room for improvement.
We are going to go back to the drawing board. There's a lot of improvement. We are going to try and quicken the pace of our game. Yeah, because we have a lot of athletes in the team and we have speed. So the game of what I saw today was a bit casual.
In another women's league match, Rewa demolished Nandronga 7-0 at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. Fijian striker Roy Krishna finished the India Super League on a high, winning the Golden Ball Award for the 2020-2021 season. This award is presented to the best player of the season. Although his side ATK Mohan Bagan went down 2-1 in the final against Mumbai City, winning the award was a plus for the football star. Krishna ended the season with 14 goals and 8 assists from 23 matches to help ATK Mohun Bagan reach the ISL 2020-2021 final. The Fiji Pearls need to sharpen some basic skills like passing. The national side had its first training session on Saturday with head coach Jenny Brazil, who noted down areas she needed to work on. Getting down to business, Brazil says there is a lot of potential in this young team. Having seen these players in action, the new coach says she is optimistic about what the Pearls can achieve under her guidance.
Some great athletes here, so very strong, agile, definitely a great core of athletes to work towards being a really strong Fijian Pearl team.
Browning Bombers is a name familiar to the local touch rugby scene, but this year the team is branching out to other spots in the country. The team consists of players along the Browning Lane in Raiwanga who are youths and school students. Development is a bigger priority for the Browning Bombers than winning.
We've been a force to reckon in the touch rugby scene. However, we're branching it out now to the different sports, especially in basketball. So today you've seen maybe 3 weeks of training.
Manager Metuisela Mudunambitu says the club has just enough teams to hold a competition.
Like we said, we started off the last tournament just a few weeks ago. We started with one men's team, one women's team and one under 15 boys. But it developed so fast now that we got 2 men's team, we got 2 women's team, we got under 15 men, under 15 boys and under 15 girls team.
Other teams in the tournament are also working towards the same goal.
One thing is that we really want to develop this team. It's a developing team at the moment. We're looking forward to come back with fitness.
The Browning Bombers are one of the favourites at the Raiwanga Interlane Weekly competition. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports. Taking a look at the weather, cloudy with some showers and isolated thunderstorms and possible heavy falls over Yasawa, Kandavu and Vitilevu. Elsewhere, cloudy periods with showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon or evening. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही है।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।